Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm talking about the Sun in conjunct or quincunx to Neptune in Synastry. So this aspect is a minor influence, even though sometimes I feel like the quincunx aspect is not so minor. This one is maybe minor is not the right word. It's a more subtle undercurrent of something being amiss or something not being said or someone not being truthful. There's a subtle weakening in the energy field of the Sun person by being around the Neptune person. Now, you could have other things going on, like other aspects to that person's sun that show that their sun and their confidence and their light is being strengthened. So, this is just one aspect, right? So, you'd have to look at everything, but just this aspect in isolation is a little bit destabilizing on the sun person's ego and identity. The sun person could find themselves losing themselves in this relationship. And the Neptune person could be a bit evasive or a bit untruthful or maybe a bit addicted. This is the kind of aspect that can show up in a relationship where one person is addicted to substances and the other person is like trying to save them. That's a very common theme with this sort of inconjunct, and the awkwardness that comes through in this inconjunct is a feeling like, and usually it is going to be the sun person trying to help the Neptune person, but it's like their energies, their light, their confidence is not quite received by the Neptune person. So there's this awkward exchange where the sun person tries to help or tries to be the light, or it's like the sun person wants the Neptune person to emulate them, but the Neptune person just doesn't receive it. It's like they're, throwing balls at them and they just keep missing them. Like the Neptune person just can't quite catch it. They just can't quite pick up what they're putting down. And so there can be misunderstandings. And that's generally the vibe, is that, one person says something, and it could be the Neptune to the sun too. Like they're trying to convey something, they're trying to communicate something, but maybe without words because it's Neptune. And then the sun person can miss what they're saying and be, not understanding. And then vice versa can happen. The other thing that's common is that we're coming from different backgrounds. The sun person can feel like the sun can also represent our father image and our inner masculine. And there's something about the Neptune person that does not align with that. And maybe we wish they would, but whenever we try to mold them to be that image, they just don't quite fit it. And the thing with the inconjunct aspect in Synastry is that it's hard because it can feel like one person has to give up something in order to get what they want. It's an aspect of sacrifice. I think that's something that Jewel Mayberry said that really resonated with me too, is like, in order to make an inconjunct aspect work, or even in the composite chart, it's like someone has to sacrifice. So I feel like with this aspect, it's like the sun person sacrifices the type of life that they want to live, their purpose, their confidence. They have to like try and subdue themselves. And it's not even that they're trying, it's almost more unconscious, to fit the Neptune person's dream. And vice versa, the Neptune person senses the sun person's judgment of them, and feeling of wrongness and feeling like they just can't fit in their box. And because Neptune is such a vast, vague energy, and the sun is, more stabilizing energy, and the Neptune person can really feel like the sun person is trying to box them in, and they just can't do that. Like they would have to sacrifice something that is so deep and shown by the Neptune wound. So like you can look at the house or the sign of the Neptune person's Neptune, And that's like what the sun person is asking them to give up. And then you could look at the sign and the house of the sun person sun, and that's what the Neptune person is diffusing. So this aspect does add a high level of romanticism and feeling like this is the dream, feeling like this is the one. And it's more as you live together over time, you're going to realize that there's sacrifices that have to be made, and you have to want to make those. Like it had, like hopefully you have other good synastry, then this can really just be a minor thing. This can just be a minor, subtle feeling of stress here that we have to give up a little bit of ourselves, or the Neptune person can really be forced to like stabilize, like they ground, because the sun person's influence is trying to accomplish that. So it can work, and it can be a relationship where there is just a lot of projection and a lot of seeing what is maybe not there. And see, that's that miscommunication too, is that we have our ideas about this person, but are they actually true? So you can actually see someone in a really high light when you have this aspect, and it can never fade. It can stay like that. It's just can be hard to coexist. And what you can find out after the relationship ends is just how much more confident you feel, how much stronger you feel in yourself. And it can have a subtle weakening of your energy field and your confidence and your purpose. And the sun person can end up losing themselves in the relationship and having to pick up the pieces and get it back. But you'd have to have a sun Neptune theme going, like for it to be such a strong loss, because this is usually just a more minor undercurrent of something is off, right? But it's a tricky one, and it's got the same qualities of the other sun Neptune aspects of that romance and that seeing God in someone and seeing what's maybe not there. And it's a tricky one, but it can be more minor if you have other good aspects to support the person's sun, and more understanding going both ways and more communication. Then you can actually be more clear on things, and then this will just be a minor feeling. But it definitely can have a weakening effect. It's an interesting one. Is like the energy of the quincunx, the inconjunct, is when there's inconjuncts to Neptune, it's a very subtle like drainage of our energy. So if you don't have other aspects that are putting energy back into yourself, you can find that happening with this aspect. So yeah, I'd love to know your experience of this aspect. Was it like this? Was it not like this? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, thanks for watching, you guys. Bye.